The Lucy Show, starring Lucille Ball, co-starring Gail Gordon.
Good morning, Mr. Mooney.
Good morning, Mrs. Carmichael.
Would you like some coffee in Danish?
No, this morning let's pretend that this is a bank and not a snack bar.
Yes, sir.
Now, would you kindly get busy and make a list of the appointments I have away from the office today?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
What's the matter, Mr. Mooney? Didn't you get any sleep?
I drove Mrs. Mooney to the airport at 5 o'clock this morning.
Oh, I thought her flight was this afternoon.
I wanted to make sure she wouldn't miss it.
How long is she going to be gone?
Well, she'll be visiting her mother for about a month. I arranged the whole trip as a birthday present.
Oh, I didn't know it was her birthday.
It's my birthday.
Oh. Well, congratulations. Say, you just might get a big surprise for your birthday.
What do you mean?
Well, last night when I went to deliver some papers to Mr. Cheever's office, he wasn't there, see? And there just happened to be a letter on his desk. And I just happened to let it catch my eye, you know? And my eye just happened to catch what it said. And it said...
Mrs. Carmichael, snooping like that is unethical, immoral, and downright dishonest.
And you don't want to know what the letter said?
Every word.
It said that the president of our San Francisco bank is retiring at the end of this month, and that it's up to Mr. Cheever to select a replacement for him.
President of the San Francisco branch. That job could only be handled by an outstanding executive, a man of integrity and intelligence.
Oh, then you don't want the job?
I was talking about me.
Oh, well, then before he considers anyone else, why don't you go to him first and tell him how much you'd like the opportunity?
Because if I bring it up, he'll know that somebody was snooping around his desk.
Well, you could do it without him knowing that you know about the letter.
How?
Well, just drop little hints, you know, when you're around him, like how you'd love to head up a bank and how you'd love to be a wonderful executive like he is.
Mrs. Carmichael, I am not the kind of man who would stoop to hinting or deviousness.
I just thought if you'd butter him up a little...
And I am too proud to butter up the boss. Now, Mooney. Oh, Mr. Cheever.
Mooney, I have just closed the Benson deal, and on our terms.
Incredible. Mr. Cheever, you certainly know how to get things done. It is amazing that just one man could have so much vitality, perseverance, and executive ability.
Well, Mooney, I've never been showered with such praise.
Or butter.
Just keep busy. Get these contracts in the mail. You know, Mr. Cheever, it's executives like you who inspire ambition in others. You make a man like me want to be like you, doing what you're doing.
Doing what I'm doing?
Being president of a bank, running the whole show.
Mooney, if you're thinking of taking over my job, forget it.
You and your advice. Now he thinks I'm after his job.
Well, I was only trying to help.
Oh, never mind.
Didn't expect you to
I've
say
got to
anything
get
like
out of here.
that.
I have an appointment.
Oh, and don't forget your luncheon engagement with your old fraternity brother, Mr. Williams.
Oh, yes, Ernie. Oh, good old Ernie. What a card he is. I haven't seen that rascal for ages. Oh, golly, Ernie, I'll see. just because I won't be here, that doesn't mean that you can take a 2-hour lunch break.
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Mooney. I've got so much work, I'll probably just have to skip lunch.
Well, it won't do you any harm. Ernie!
Teddy boy!
You old alpha, beta, gamma, you!
Alpha, beta, gamma! Roobity dee, rooty toot toot. We are the boys of the Institute. Elephant hide and tiger meat. Don't fall out of the rumble seat.
My. Gee, it's good to see you.
Long time no see.
Yeah, long time no see.
Or as the sailor said when his watch fell overboard, long sea, no time.
Oh, I like that. Long sea.
Pardon me, would you gentlemen care for a drink?
Oh, yes, indeed.
yes.
What'll you have?
Well,
Ernie,
but
how about our old fraternity special?
good idea.
All right. We'll both have slow gin and root beer.
Slow gin and root beer?
No ice. Ernie, you rascal, you haven't changed a bit since college. No?
Oh,
No?
College. Those were the fun days.
Oh, yeah.
Say, you remember that time I fixed you up with a blind date? I told you it was with the homecoming queen, but instead it was with that girl shot putter with the butch haircut and the buck teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, she had a kooky name. Can't think of it now.
Klottendorf.
Klottendorf, that's right, Klottendorf. You'd think with a name like that, she'd have changed it.
She did. It's now Mrs. Mooney.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Well, let's get to something else. Now, how about having some lunch, Ernie? Let's look this over.
Oh, that looks good.
Ernie,
What?
listen to this.
What?
Enter our contest for Boss of the Year award. The title will be awarded on the basis of the best letter singing the praises of the contestant's boss.
Anything I write about my boss, I'd have to write on a wall.
Yeah, I feel the same way. But I'm being considered for an important job in San Francisco. If I could get this award for my boss, I'd be set.
Well, maybe have somebody down at the bank who majored in literature and has a talent for writing could help you out.
Oh, no. I wouldn't want anyone at the bank to know that I'd entered this contest.
Why not?
Well, they'd think I was buttering up the boss. Besides, if I lost, I'd be the laughingstock of every coffee break.
So if you won, they'd have to know.
If I won, it wouldn't matter. I'd be on my way to San Francisco.
Of course.
I've got to
Let's
think
work
about
on
it.
Here you are, gentlemen. Slow gin and root beer.
Only a coward won't drink it down. I'd forgotten how good that is.
You were Mr. Mooney.
You ready to leave?
No, I can't leave until Mr. Mooney comes back, but he ought to be here in a few minutes.
What are you trying to hide?
Oh, I was just writing a letter. Well, the Businessmen's Club is having a contest for Boss of the Year, and I was hoping I could write a letter that could win it for Mr. Mooney. But I don't want him to know about it. You see, he's up for a big job in San Francisco, and I thought that this award might impress Mr. Cheever enough to get Mr. Mooney that job.
The way he treats you and you want him named Boss of the Year, boy, that's loyalty.
Loyalty schmoyalty, Mary Jane. I figure if he goes to San Francisco, any new boss I get will be an improvement. Oh, hello, Mr. Mooney.
Oh, hello, Mr. Carmine.
You know my girlfriend.
Oh, hello, baby Jane.
Mary Jane.
I'm sorry. Well, you can run along, Mrs. Carmichael. I have work to do.
Oh, won't you need me for dictation or anything?
Oh, no. This work is of a confidential nature. It's personal, personal. That's all.
Okay, Mr. Mooney.
Yeah,
Bye, Mr. Mooney.
Goodbye,
Thank
Mary.
you. And good night.
Good night. Good night. To look at my boss, Mr. Cheever, one can see... To look at my boss, Mr. Cheever, one can see that he is considerate. To look at my boss... To look at my boss, Mr. Cheever, one can see that he is a lot like Abraham Lincoln. Considerate, kind, and intelligent. A man of great character and dignity. Although bankers have a reputation as cold, hard businessmen, our Mr. Cheever operates with great warmth and compassion. He is admired for his ability to get things done. Among his fellow workers, he is known as Cheever the Achiever. The merry twinkle in his eye reflects the glorious sense of humor that endears him to those of us who serve this faithful man, who is for the people, of the people, and by the people.
Lucy.
Oh, it's no use. I can never get this Boss of the Year letter finished in time for the contest.
Aren't you making any progress at all?
Well, I was going real good, and then I got stuck.
Well, why don't you read to me what you have so far, and maybe I can help you.
All right. I consider my employer, Mr. Theodore J. Mooney, a wonderful boss for the following reasons.
Go on.
That's where I got stuck. Oh, it's no use. I could never write a good enough letter to win the contest anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to sing the praises of a boss like Mr. Mooney.
Hey!
What?
That's it!
What's it?
Sing the praises. Maybe I should write my letter in the form of a song.
Oh, you mean like lyrics?
Yeah, that would really be singing the praises of my boss.
That's a wonderful idea, Lucy. And then we think of songs that describe what working for Mr. Mooney is really like.
How about Plenty of Nothing?
I mean songs that are complimentary.
Like what?
Well, how about Who's Wonderful, Who's Marvelous, Mr. Mooney?
Hey, that's cute.
See
Oh,
what
I
I
write
mean?
that down, yes.
And When the Mooney Comes Over the Mountain.
Very good,
I
yeah.
don't know about
Oh, how about Mooney, how I love you, my dear boss Mooney. That's good, good.
I'm in love with Mr. Mooney.
I might be able to use that, yeah. Mooney and Roses.
Oh, yeah.
Is that good?
Yes. Oh, and Mooney River.
You know you have a nice voice.
Say you and your Spanish eyes will wait for me.
Mooney, will you please stop playing games and tell me why you insisted that I come here tonight? You know how I hate these things.
Well, now, Mr. Cheever, you see that sign? The Boss of the Year Award? Well, when I got my tickets, they had a little note enclosed, and it said that my presence here tonight would have special significance.
What has that got to do with me?
Well, don't you see, sir, the whole idea of the contest is that the contestants send in complimentary letters about their employers, and the best... Oh, but why spoil the surprise?
Oh.
I had no idea. Isn't that great? Yeah, that's
Oh, Lucy, there's Mr. Mooney and Mr. Cheever.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't tell him you entered him in the contest, did you?
Of course not. Come on. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Mrs. Carmichael. What are you doing here?
Well, I thought some of the gang from the bank might be here, and...
Yeah, would you like to join us?
Oh,
Please do.
thank you. Oh, very nice of you, Mr. Cheever. Doesn't the place look wonderful? Yeah. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for, the Boss of the Year Award. And the winning letter was received from an employee of the Westland Bank. Now I would like the contestant who wrote the winning letter to step this way, please. Lucille Carmichael. When our contestants were invited to sing the praises of the boss, Mrs. Carmichael took us literally. And since her words are set to music, we think it would be a good idea to let her sing them to you herself.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
pay my boss a tribute. Sing his praises loud and clear. As a banker, Mr. Mooney has a record you should hear. 76 big loans that he made last year. 110 accounts that were new. Followed by mortgage deeds springing up like weeds. Foreclosed when they were overdue. There were Christmas clubs and savings plans he improvised. Compounding, interest all the way. New interest rates and tax rebates he organized. Highly prized by any CPA. He bought 50 big computers for the auditing. Computing with no time to lose. Big machines of every size. One human man who multiplies in case the darn machine should blow a fuse. Oh, thanks for the memory of a boss I think is great. Not a single cranky trait. He doesn't even holler on the days I come in late. How lovely he is. Oh, thanks for the memory of the patience that he takes, overlooking my mistakes. He even buys the donuts when I take my coffee breaks. How thoughtful he is. Many's the time that we quarrel, and many's the time that he'd fire me. But then, in the end, he'd rehire me. You'll never find a boss so kind. So thanks for the memory of comforts he installed, like hi-fi in the walls. Not going out to lunch, so he'll be there to take my call. I thank you so much. It's 6 short years that I worked for him. 72 great months filled with cheer. There were happy days. He surprised me with a raise. Let's salute the boss of the year.
Let's get the man up here, the boss of the year, Mr. Theodore J. Mooney. Mr. Mooney, I bet I know how you feel.
Oh, you have no idea.
Folks, I think it would be appropriate to have the Boss of the Year trophy presented by his boss, Mr. Winfield Cheever.
Thank you. I consider it a privilege and an honor to present this award to this employee of mine, in whom I have had such confidence and faith. As a matter of fact, only this morning I dictated a letter appointing Mr. Mooney the president of the Westland Bank in San Francisco. However, as we all know, there are bigger things in life than business achievements and material success. And seeing this bond of loyalty between this secretary and her boss, I am going to see that Mr. Mooney stays with us so that our happy family at the Westland Bank can remain together.
Okay, everybody, let's hear it for Mr. Mooney.
Let's salute the boss of the year.
The Lucy Show. The Lucy Show. Starring Lucille Ball. Co-starring Gail Gordon.
Good morning, Mr. Mooney.
Good morning, Mrs. Carmichael.
Would you like some coffee in Danish?
No, this morning let's pretend that this is a bank and not a snack bar.
Yes, sir.
Now, would you kindly get busy and make a list of the appointments I have away from the office today?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
What's the matter, Mr. Mooney? Did you get any sleep?
I drove Mrs. Mooney to the airport at 5 o'clock this morning.
Oh, I thought her flight was this afternoon.
I wanted to make sure she wouldn't miss it.
How long is she going to be gone?
Well, she'll be visiting her mother for about a month. I arranged the whole trip as a birthday present.
Oh, I didn't know it was her birthday.
It's my birthday.
Oh. Well, congratulations. Say, you just might get a big surprise for your birthday.
What do you mean?
Well, last night when I went to deliver some papers to Mr. Cheever's office, he wasn't there, see? And there just happened to be a letter on his desk. And I just happened to let it catch my eye, you know? And my eye just happened to catch what it said. And it said...
Mrs. Carmichael, snooping like that is unethical, immoral, and downright dishonest.
And you don't want to know what the letter said?
Every word.
It said that the president of our San Francisco bank is retiring at the end of this month,